as the Republican governor of Maryland, Larry Hogan, Governor Hogan, welcome back to Meet the Press. You know, you have a special sort of relationship and insight, I think, to Congress, being the son of a member of Congress who voted as a Republican on all those impeachment articles against Richard Nixon. I'm just curious, what did the Senate do yesterday in terms of Donald Trump, in your view?
Well, you know, there's what the vote was and what the result of the Senate, you know, the Republicans in the Senate did yesterday. But then there's the court of public opinion, and quite frankly, I think the Democrats made a strong case. Even though Leader McConnell didn't vote to impeach, his words were pretty strong, and you know, I think time will tell how that impacts Donald Trump and how it impacts the Republican Party in the country. And I think it's going to go far beyond just that vote yesterday in the Senate. There's going to be potentially courts of law and the court of public opinion, and we're going to decide, you know, how history remembers this day and what people did and said.
Would you have voted to convict if you were a United States Senator?
You know, I think the argument was pretty convincing, and you know, I'm not in the Senate, but you know, I think I probably would have voted with some of my colleagues that were on the losing side. So I was very proud of some of the folks that stood up and did the right thing. It's not always easy. In fact, it's sometimes really hard to go against your base and your colleagues to do what you think is right for the country. It's exactly what my dad did back in the 70s, and you know, he paid a price for it immediately, but it's what history remembers him most fondly for.
You know, it's interesting when you look at the number of Republicans that voted to convict. It's 15% of the Republican conference. And that feels about what the split is inside the Republican Party right now, right? 85-15, and the 85 is sitting there with Donald Trump. Is that how you view it?
Yeah. Well, it's hard to tell. I mean, I think this stuff is fluid. Let's face it. The president has only been in office now for a month, and so we have a long time. I think there's going to be a real battle for the soul of the Republican Party, and the battle's just beginning. And I think some of us are going to stand up and try to fight for, you know, the party that we believe in, that we've been a part of for so long. And you know, there's going to be folks that want to continue to head down this road of Donald Trump, and we're going to figure out, you know, whether we're going to be a party that can win elections or not.
Where do you have this battle for the soul of the party? You clearly would like to do it inside the party. I know there's some movement of starting a sort of a principled conservative third party. You have Adam Kinzinger, who seems to be more where you are, which is, hey, let's plant a flag inside the party. How long do you give the party to find out if you can move the party towards your direction?
Well, you know, I sort of feel as if there was, and I've said this before, that there was a hostile takeover of the Republican Party. And, you know, I'm not, for one, not ready to abandon the party that I spent my whole life, you know, working for, that I believe very strongly in, going back to, you know, being a Youth for Reagan chairman. I want to return to that party. You know, after Watergate, everybody said it was the death of the Republican Party in 1974, and we came back 6 years later in 1980 with the biggest landslides in history. And I'm hoping we can return to a successful party, because I think a competitive two-party system is critical to our democracy.
Yeah, but that happened because the Republican Party chose to distance itself from Richard Nixon. Do you think the Republican Party can be successful without distancing itself from Donald Trump?
I don't think they can. I think that if they really want to win competitive seats in purple states, and if they want to win suburban districts, if we want to somehow get back the House and the Senate, if we want to win a presidential election, they're going to have to start building coalitions like we've done here in one of the bluest states in the country, where you can have a message that appeals to more people.
Let me ask you this, you know, there was no platform essentially for the Republican Party in 2020 other than loyalty to Donald Trump. What do you hope the platform, what's the platform going to look like in 2024? What do you hope it looks like in 2024?
Well, you know, I wouldn't say there was no platform, and it wasn't really a terrible year for Republicans. We obviously lost the presidential race by a wide margin. However, you know, we made it was still a tough battle in the Senate. I think the president cost us the 2 seats in Georgia in the Senate races, but in the House we actually gained, and many people who are from my wing of the party, who are common sense conservatives that were not really strong Donald Trump supporters, they all won. And you know, people like Susan Collins won, and Phil Cox, you know, Phil Scott up in Vermont. We picked up a whole lot of House seats in all the suburban districts. So I think the party has a winning message. We just had a bad messenger. And I think we've got to move on from the cult of Donald Trump and return to the basic principles that the party's always stood for.
Governor Larry Hogan, Republican from Maryland, appreciate you coming on and sharing your perspective. As I said, you've known and lived Congress in this world for a long time. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chuck.